Joy Nitai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and all the devotees. So our highest aspiration in devotional service is to achieve the loving service at the lotus feet of Srimati Radha Rani. We want to become engaged in her service, become her Balyadasis. But how will we achieve this high goal? Well, we need to approach Srimati Radharani. Now the problem is how to approach her. No doubt she is extremely merciful, even more merciful than Krishna. But still, it's not an easy task approaching her. Because she is constantly engaged in looking after the desires of her Sakhis, her Gopis, her Manjaris, who are all Nitya Siddhas. How will she immediately turn to us, the Nitya Baddhas? What qualification do we have? It's not so easy. But Radharani's Gopis are even more merciful than her. They are the carriers of her divine mercy. And more specifically, the Manjaris, the 12-year-old Balyadasis of Radharani, they are the most merciful. Their love to Radharani is beyond limits, beyond any bounds. Only by their merciful glance can we attain the Kripa Kataksh of Radhika. But there is yet another problem. The Manjaris never leave Radharani, even for a second in Goloka. The Sakhis sometimes come down to perform pastimes in the material world. But the Manjaris, they come too, but it's so hard to, bring them. They usually hide themselves. They're extremely humble. They're always satisfied in just humbly serving their Swamini Radhe. Very submissive position. So how will we, the residents of this material world, attain their mercy? We must take shelter of the Supreme Lord, who accepted the Mahabhav and mood of Radharani, to distribute to all the jivas of this material world the highest Untitled Rasam, that Manjari Bhav, intimate service to Radhika, which was never revealed before, even by Krishna. The most merciful Lord, who brought all the Manjaris with him in the form of the Goswamis, our Acharyas. We must take shelter of that Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Anarpita chari macharat karunaya vatirna kalo samarpayitam unnatojwal rasam swabhakti shriyam haripurata sundara dutikadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratuva sachinandana. All glories to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. All glories to that Karuna avatar Sri Gaurasundar. Only by his mercy is it possible to attain the merciful glance of the Manjaris. And via the guidance of the Manjaris is it possible to serve the lotus feet of Radharani. Gauranga charanam bhoja makaranda madhuvrataha sadhanaina virnaradha Krishna prapyasi nishchitam. This verse is stated in Navadvip Mahatmya, in the conversation between Shiva and Parvati. Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati that simply by taking shelter of Gauranga's lotus feet, those who are always eager to drink the nectar emanating from his lotus feet will achieve Radha Krishna even without any proper sadhana. Sadhaneva vina Radha Krishna prapyasi nishchitam. Now the question is, how to attain the unprecedented mercy of Sri Gaurasundar? Gaurhari is definitely more easily approachable than Radharani and the Manjaris. But yet, don't forget that he is Nyaya Kripadhish. There is still some consideration of judgment, because he is Radha Krishna combined. And although Radharani is fully magnanimous, Krishna has some Nyaya, some judgment. So to peer into the heart of Sri Gaurasundar, we will need the mercy of one who is 100% Kripadhish. Now who is that? It is none other than Sri Nityananda Chandra. Bolo Nityananda Rama ki jai. Gauranga will only distribute the fruits of his divine conjugal love to those who are graced by the causeless mercy of Nitai Chand. Nitai is constantly maddened and intoxicated. He is drunk in the ambrosial of Gaur Krishna Prem. When one is intoxicated, the tendency to judge completely wears off. So Nitai is in that state. Uttama adhamu kichu na kore bichar. He is ready to distribute that prem to one and all without seeing any qualification. That is the extent of his drunkenness in Gauranga Prem. It is that intense. And that Gaur Prem is gushing out of his lotus eyes in the form of tears, appearing just like a waterfall of nectar. So only when Nitai will wash our filthy hearts with his pearl-like tears will Gaur Hari appear in our heart. And only then will we be able to peer into Gauranga's heart and see the divine conjugal pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Everything will be revealed to us by Nitai's mercy. So therefore, what can we conclude? Nitai is the foremost bestower of Madhurya Ras. More merciful than Krishna is Radharani. More merciful than Radharani are her gopis. More merciful than her gopis is Sriman Mahaprabhu. And lastly, even more merciful than Mahaprabhu is Nityananda Chandra. Therefore, the ultimate pinnacle of mercy is Nityananda Prabhu. I really love the way my Gurudev puts this in his commentary. He says, to that extent one has faith in Nityananda Prabhu. To that extent one will get close to Gauranga. And to that extent one has faith in Gauranga Mahaprabhu. To that extent one will become dear to the gopis. And to that extent one is dear to the gopis, one will become dear to Srimati Radharani. And to that extent one is dear to Srimati Radharani, one will become dear to Krishna. Srila Bhaktiratna Sadhu Maharaj. Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai. So Nitai is the gateway to Madhurya Ras. Yes, undoubtedly our goal is to attain the loving service of Radharani. But the achievement of that goal is not possible, even in 1,000,000 lifetimes, for many, many Chaturyugas, for koti kalpas, without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. These days, devotees are, it really makes me sad, because these days, devotees minimize the importance of taking shelter of Nitai before directly approaching Radha Krishna. We hear so many things like, oh, Baladev is in Sakhya, so he cannot bestow Madhurya Ras. Psh. Oh, there's no need to take shelter of Nitai. I can just approach Radha Krishna directly. Or even worse, some devotees, believe it or not, they claim Nitai as a ladder. Oh, you use Nityananda Prabhu to reach Radha and Krishna, and then once you get there, Nitai's function is all over. You see, this all is nonsense. This is why we have so many fall downs. This is why it takes lifetimes for devotees to eventually reach the divine couple in Goloka. Because of these misconceptions. I beg you, please, 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 discard all these misconceptions from your heart. And you'll see, you'll be able to see Radha Krishna in your heart. Just take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is not simply a ladder who takes us up to Radha and Krishna. He is the foundation. Rapid progress without a strong foundation will always yield to a negative outcome. I'll give you a practical example. Nowadays, we see so many high-rise buildings, so many tall structures. But what is the most important in those structures is the base, the foundation. If the base is not strong, then what happens? The structure eventually, boom, collapses. So we don't want that to happen to our devotional service, do we? Anyone who simply wants to bypass Nityananda Prabhu or minimize his importance and mercy and attain Radha Krishna will be a loser. He will achieve zero, absolutely nothing. In fact, there is a high chance the devotee will be misled to Sahijyasm or Rasabhas. It's not easy to reach Radha Krishna. It is the highest platform of devotional service, the highest. Not even in our dreams will we be able to reach there if we don't have Nityananda Prabhu, Adi Guru, Akhanda Guru Tattva's mercy. It is only by his causeless mercy that this will ever be possible. In fact, I will tell you a secret. See, Maya Devi knows that it is very difficult to reach Radha and Krishna. Even in all the other yugas, what to speak of Kali Yuga? Our offenses, they will bar us from entering into that realm. She knows that the only way the bewildered souls of Kali Yuga will reach Sri Yugal Kishore is through Nityananda. Then what will happen? Her function, over. Nitai will only clap his hands. Done. Maya's influence gone. So she will not let that happen in any case. So she lays all these illusions before us to delude us from the path of worshipping Nitai Chand, to shove us away from his lotus feet, which will give us our goal. She will try everything to deter your faith in Nitai. It's not so easy to serve Nitai. Nitai Prem, Nitai Nishtha, Nitai Shraddha are the rarest of all. It is costly to put your faith there, but if you do it, you will be the greatest gainer. So please do not fall into Maya Devi's trap. Run to Nitai's feet and hold them firmly. Dharo dharo Nitai chorono dukhani. Radharani will not accept anyone who is not first sanctioned by Adi Guru Nityananda. Just like Krishna doesn't accept anyone who has not been recommended by Radharani. There is a very beautiful quote by Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj regarding this, which I will read now. And the quote is, "Our highest aspiration is to achieve the service of Srimati Radharani, but in the beginning, we must approach Sri Nityananda Prabhu through his manifest representation, the Guru. Nityananda Prabhu consolidates the foundation which helps us further progress in devotion. Quick progress without a good foundation invites a negative reaction. So, the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu is our primary necessity." And one more quote by Maharaj. "So, the grace of Nityananda Prabhu will construct a firm foundation for us. If there is a firm foundation, then we may build a great structure over it. If we have faith in Nityananda, then that faith can bear any amount of weight. It won't betray us." So, some devotees think that Nitai and Radhika, they have no connection. So, they cannot attain Madhurya Ras by taking full-fledged shelter of Nitai. That is erroneous. Yes, Nitai does not directly engage in the Madhurya pastimes because he's Krishna's elder brother, Jeshta Bhrata. So Krishna may feel, shy in front of him. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have any connection with Radharani. Actually, they both have a very sweet relation. Both of them are Adi Gurus. Radhika is the Guru for all the gopis, and Nitai is Akhanda Guru Tattva for all the devotees in whole. He also expands as the younger sister of Radharani to serve her in Shringar Ras, which is absolutely crucial to Radha Krishna's amorous pastimes. But I'll touch upon that later. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes in the Harmonist that Srimati Radhika is the guru of the inner circles of the servants of Krishna. Srimati Radharani, however, accepts the offering of service only of those souls who are especially favored by Nityananda and are deemed by him to be fit for her service. There is therefore a most intimate relationship between the function of Nityananda and that of Srimati Radharani. So, anyone who serves Nityananda Prabhu or takes his shelter fully becomes very, very dear to Srimati Radharani, and Radhika becomes exceptionally pleased with that devotee. So, aspiring to glorify Nityananda Prabhu and thus attain the merciful glance of Srimati Radhika, this fallen soul will make a feeble attempt to glorify how Nitai performs the service of bringing fortunate souls to Radha's service. Actually, for quite a long time, I was thinking about how to humbly glorify Nitai next. And spontaneously on Radhashtami, by Nitai and Radharani's mercy, I was praying to Radharani, "O Radhe, I want to serve Nitai. Please tell me how I may be able to do this." And she gave me this idea to do this lecture of how Nitai brings a soul to her service. And So, I will try my best to glorify Nityananda as the foremost bestower of Madhurya Ras and glorify Nitai's elevated position as one who bestows Radha's divine love. I'm praying at the lotus feet of Sri Nitai Chand that after hearing this lecture, all devotees will take exclusive shelter at his lotus feet and by his mercy attain Sri Yugal Kishore Radha Govind Dev in Vrindavan. So I will begin by giving the example of our exalted acharyas, who are all situated in the highest manjari form in Krishna Lila, and how each one of them have described Nitai's mercy. Firstly, I think the foremost example is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Kasturi Manjari, as described in Gaur Ganudesh Deepika. See, he is already a Mahanitya Siddha in Goloka, but yet in the worldly pastimes, he could not revive his Siddha Deha, spiritual form, until Nitai bestowed his causeless mercy upon him. Oh, that pastime is so beautiful, and it is so esoteric. Anyone who understands the real hidden message behind this pastime will surely attain all siddhis in this life itself. Nityananda Prabhu appeared to Kaviraj Goswami and sent him to Vrindavan just because he had defended a devotee of Nitai. Nothing else. Kaviraj Goswami even mentions it in himself, that although I had rendered no other service to Nitai, nothing, absolutely nothing at all, he just took this one quality and used it as a chance to give me mercy. Who else in the three worlds can be this desperate to give mercy? Even Nitya Siddhas are always awaiting for his mercy. See, this also shows that Nitai's mercy is always readily available. He is actually searching out for a chance to shower his causeless mercy upon us. Normally, we are supposed to be desperate to obtain mercy from the Lord. But Nitai, it's the opposite. He is beyond limits desperate to deliver us. He's more eager to give prem to us than we are to take it. That's why I'm saying, this is why all our acharyas are saying that whoever doesn't approach Nitai to get Radha Krishna is really losing everything. He's cheating himself. Because Nitai is so ready to give out that prem for Radharani, for Krishna, for Gauranga. Why go hither and thither when he is standing right there, awaiting eagerly with open arms, Du Bahu Tuli, to give it to us? What are you waiting for? Just go before him. That's all that's required. Je aage poroe tare koroe nistar. Simply go before him. Fall at his lotus feet. That's all. Then you will attain everything. Sarva siddhi hoy. Yes, so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami had defended Miniketan Ramdas, Nitai's dear devotee and associate. And that very night, Nitai appeared to him in his dream and told him to go to Vrindavan. And there he will attain everything. Are are Krishna Das na karo bhoy, Vrindavano jaho taha sarvo labhyo hoy. Oh, my dear Krishna Das, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. Are Krishna Das. Are means Nitai is very affectionately, very lovingly. He's telling Krishna Das, you go to Vrindavan. There by my mercy you will attain Sarva Labhya. Sarva means all, everything, and Labhya means everything which is to be attained. So Sarva Siddhi, all will be achieved there. So if you study this verse carefully, you will see that Krishnadas Kaviraj has revealed the secrets of all secrets of attaining perfection in just one verse. He has expertly encapsulated everything within this one verse. Sarva labhya hoy. You will attain everything. What is Nitai trying to say? He is assuring Kaviraj that simply by going to Vrindavan and by my mercy, you will get everything there. What is everything? Your Siddha Deha, your Manjari form. When you will attain your spiritual form, you'll realize your Ekadash Bhav. You'll get service to Sri Radha and Krishna. the shelter of other senior Goswamis, who are also elevated Manjris in Krishna Leela. You will see the Nitya Leela of the Yugal Kishore. All Spurti realizations of Gauranga's Leela will come. And what will you write? The PhD of all scriptures, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. You will see all the confidential pastimes of Radha Govinda. And not only that, you will also reveal those pastimes in your Grantha, Govinda Lilamrit. O hey Krishna Das, you will attain everything. So see, when Nitai gives, he gives everything at once, without any boundaries. It's like a flood. Aniya premero banya bhashailo avani. It just overwhelms you. Everything comes gushing at once. He doesn't wait. He gives everything away. So, A, he gives everything so easily. And B, he gives everything when he is giving. So, Krishna will give you little by little. At each step, you will have to pass a test, an exam, which shows that you are qualified to progress to the next advanced level. But Nitai, he doesn't wait so long. He just wants you to quickly go to Radha Krishna. So first he grants you the qualification, he personally empowers you, and then gives you everything. See, Krishna Das, he empowered Kaviraj first and then gave him everything. And Kaviraj mentions this in the later following verses. He sings, Jayo Jayo Nityananda Nityananda Ram Jaharo Kripate Painu Brindabono Dham Jayo Jayo Nityananda Jayo Kripamoyo Jaha hoite painu rupo Sanatana Shrayo Jaha hoite painu Raghunatha Mahashay Jaha hoite painu Shri Swarup Ashray Sanatana Kripai painu Bhaktir Siddhanto Shri Rupa Kripai painu Bhaktir Pranto Jaya Jaya Nityananda Charanaravindo Jaya Jaya Nityananda Charanaravindo Jaha hoite ami painu Sri Radha Govindo Jaha hoite ami painu Sri Radha Govindo. All glories to Lord Nityananda Balaram, by whose mercy I have attained shelter in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan. All glories to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter of Sri Rupa and Sanatan. By his mercy I have attained the shelter of the great Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami, and by his mercy I have found the refuge of Sri Swarup Damodar. By the mercy of Sanatan Goswami, I have learned the final conclusions of devotional service, and by the grace of Rupa Goswami, I have tasted the highest nectar of devotional service. All glories to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained Sri Sri Radha Govinda. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, Chapter 5, verses 200 to 204. See, so look at this mercy. Now, even after reading this, how can anyone have a single tinge of doubt on Nitai's potency to grant us everything? And especially pay attention to this one line. It is very esoteric. You will understand many purports of Raganuga Bhakti if you understand this. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Kripamoy Jaha hoite painu rupo Sanatanashray Jaha hoite painu rupo Sanatanashray Jaha hoite painu rupo Sanatanashray. Raganuga Bhakti starts when we take full shelter of Rupa Manjari. Even Krishna himself desires to worship her because of the strong attachment she has to Radharani and her undeviating service. So all the devotees in the Gauriya Sampradaya are under Rupa Goswami's shelter. We are all Rupanuga Vaishnavas, devotees in the line of Rupa Goswami. So we must take Rupa Goswami's shelter, his ashray, or we are hopeless. But how will you get Rupa ashray? Joyo joyo Nityananda, joyo kripamoy, jaha hoite painu roop sanatan ashray. By Kripadhish Nityananda's mercy. So if you want to become a Rupanuga, first become a Nityanandanuga. One day you will find yourself under Sri Rupa's shelter. Become a Nityanandanuga, and one day you'll become a first-class Rupanuga. Kasturi Manjari is assuring you, one who has already taken shelter of Rupa Manjari's lotus feet is guaranteeing this. Actually, even Rupa Goswami said, one should hope against hope for the mercy of Lord Nityananda. If you have no hope, then you hope that there will be hope for Nityananda's mercy. Then we will attain everything. Jayo jayo Nityananda charana bindo, jaha hoite ami painu Sri Radha Govindo, jaha hoite ami painu Sri Radha Govindo. So beautiful, I just can't get over it. So Srila Narayan Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, said something very beautiful and eloquent in this connection that I'd like to read here. In a Nityananda Trayadashi lecture, he says to all his disciples that, don't think that only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give Gopi Prem. Also Nityananda Prabhu can give. He is Guru. He is serving Krishna in Vatsalya Ras, Sakhya Ras, Dasya Ras, all rasas, especially in his Ananga Manjari form, being the younger sister of Radhika. Oh, he's serving Krishna and Radha both. That is why he can give, in Ananga Manjari form, even Gopi Prem. So he knows all. Nityananda Prabhu is so much expert in all these things. So you should not think that, oh, he cannot give. Oh, he might not know. No, what Mahaprabhu is not giving, Nityananda Prabhu can give by his mercy. So many, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he went to Vrindavan, he took darshan of Vrindavan, he took darshan of Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath, Radha Madan Mohan. And by Nityananda's mercy, they found Gopinath. They wrote so many granthas. So we see that without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we cannot do anything. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. So one line which he says that really touches my heart is this one. What Mahaprabhu is not giving, Nityananda Prabhu can give by his mercy. What a powerful statement. Usually devotees speculate that since Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Radha Krishna, only he can give Manjari Prem. Nitai on the other hand cannot. Actually, that is not so. In fact, it is vice versa. Nitai bestows this Prem more easily. Even a Nitya Siddha, a Manjari like Kasturi Manjari, he had to see Nitai Chand in his heart first. Then he could realize Gaur Hari in his heart and understand his tattva, pastime, form, dham, qualities, associates, and then write eventually Chaitanya Charitamrit. And then by realizing Gauranga in his heart, he could see the Nitya Leela of Radha Krishna and write Govinda Leela Amrit. So without seeing Nitai in the innermost chambers of your heart, you cannot attain anything. First, to purify our heart and to bring Krishna into our heart. Even Krishna, when he came in Dwapar Yuga, you see, before he appeared in Mother Devki's womb, Balaram had to appear first to purify the heart of Devki Mata. Balaram came first to purify the womb so that Krishna could come, so that it was worthy enough for Krishna to come. So without Nityananda Balaram, Krishna did not come. Same for Vishwambar Gaurhari. Vishwaroop had to come first. Vishwaroop, who is an expansion of Lord Nityananda, he had to come first. Only then Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra were qualified to have Gaurhari perform pastimes in their home. So if Nitai will not come, then who will recommend us to Radharani? Who will bring us to Radhika? Nityananda Prabhu is the fountainhead of all rasas. How super excellent his kripa is. Alaukik kripa. Nitai is not selfish. If we are in Madhurya Ras, then it is not like he will keep us to himself. No, he will hand us over to Swamini Radhika. His love for us is so selfless. It's nirswarth prem, selfless prem. He's ready to sell himself for our well-being. That is how intense his prem is for all the jivas. Param Dayal Nityananda. So from this pastime, we can see that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami manifested exclusive, one-pointed, eknishta surrender and devotion to Nityananda Chandra. He is Kasturi Manjari, yet he displayed very extraordinary Atma Samarpan, Atma Nivedan at the lotus feet of Dayal Nitai. Why? To show each and every one of us souls that all desires, all perfections, all bhavas, and all rasas are attainable via the mercy of Nityananda. See, he is already a Manjari. He didn't have to go through this whole process, right? But why did he do it? The Nitya Siddhas, they do these things to guide us because they are acharyas. They need to show by their achar. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, by taking shelter of Nitai first, he is loudly giving us this message to all of us that we need to also follow in his footsteps and take shelter of Nitai first. Therefore, the conclusion of this pastime is that if one desires to take complete shelter of the divine couples, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, then it is possible only by taking exclusive shelter of Nityananda Prabhu and rendering some service onto his lotus feet. Another very staunch example of our acharyas taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu is our Raghunatha Das Goswami. And this one is actually most astonishing because do you know who Raghunatha Das Goswami is? He is our Prem Prayojana Acharya. Just like there are three main deities in Vrindavan, Radha Madan Mohan, who bestow Sambandha, Radha Govinda Dev, who bestow Abhideya, service, and lastly Radha Gopinath, who are Prem Prayojan. They give Prem. The highest, he gives Prem, the ultimate goal. So like that, Raghunatha Das Goswami is our Prem Prayojana Acharya. And another very, very exalted quality is that he is the chief commander of the highest Leela Sthali of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. The highest place of pastimes of Radha Krishna is Radha Kund. Radha Kundam evashrayome. Jai Jai Shri Radha Kund. Even Krishna himself has to first bathe in Radha Kund and offer prayers to Radha Kund before first becoming qualified to perform pastimes with Radhika and Radha Kund. Radha Kund is actually directly Radhika. Only the highest devotees, even among the confidential associates of Radharani, can serve the Yugal Kishore here. So Raghunatha Das Goswami, he is the Senapati of Radha Kund. You can imagine his exalted position. But this very same Raghunatha Das Goswami attained his Nitya Seva, his Swarup, surrendered to Gaur Hari, Radha Krishna, all by the mercy of Nitai Chand. This pastime just makes my heart melt down. Raghunatha Das Goswami was actually previously stuck with his materialistic family because they wouldn't let him do devotional service properly. He tried to run away so many times, many times. He even reached Mahaprabhu a few times, but each time either his father's spies would come and take him back, or Mahaprabhu would himself request him to go back. So he was just completely shattered. But then one day, Nitai was giving Harikatha in Panihati, and Raghunatha Goswami was there. And Nitai called him near and just put his lotus feet on his head. Just that moment, everything comes. When Nitai puts his lotus feet on someone's head, that's the ultimate empowerment. And Nitai blessed him that very soon all his desires will be fulfilled. He will no longer have any more obstructions and obstacles in bhakti. And what did Nitai do? The very first thing he did was he engaged Raghunatha Das Goswami in the service of the Vaishnavas, because he knew that that is what will be most pleasing to Gauranga. So from the very beginning, he engaged him in all the devotees' service. That's so sweet, Because, see, Raghunatha Das Goswami, he was greatly missing the association of devotees. And the minute he reaches Nityananda Prabhu, the first thing Nityananda Prabhu does is that he engages him in the service of the devotees. Joy Joy Nitai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Raghunatha Das Goswami ki Jai. So only by Nitai's mercy, all the thorns in our path of devotional service are removed. Raghunatha Das Goswami tried so many times. He tried every single possible way to reach Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But the material energy, it kept pulling him back, until he placed his head at Nitai's lotus feet and took shelter of Nitai. At that very moment, all those obstacles which were stopping him from reaching Gauranga, they all dispersed. And one very sweet thing is that Nitai was calling so lovingly because Raghunatha Das Goswami was hiding. He's very humble. So he didn't directly come in front of Nitai. He was hiding a little bit far away from his vision. But Nitai is antaryami, so he's omniscient. He knows everything. So very lovingly, Nitai was calling at that time, Raghunath, Raghunath, come here. Look, here comes that thief. You are a thief. I will punish you. Actually, the meaning of this is that all this time, Raghunatha Das Goswami was trying to approach Gauranga directly without Nitai. So Nitai, he wants to help us. Nitai, he thinks that it's his honor to take us to Radha and Krishna. He actually thinks that he is serving us. We are not serving him. He thinks by taking us to Radha and Krishna, to Gauranga, he is serving us. Nitai is actually very, very humble. He will never take any of the credit. He always gives cent% credit to Gauranga. So see, our great Acharya, Raghunatha Das Goswami, is teaching us that first you approach Nitai. Although he is Rasa Manjari, the main assistant of Vishakha Devi, and one of the principal manjaris engaged in the intimate service of Sri Radha, still, such an elevated manjari is taking shelter of Nityananda Chandra. This is the ultimate proof that Nitai can most certainly grant us manjari bhav. One more very staunch example is another one of our 6 Goswamis, Srila Jiva Goswami. Nityananda Prabhu was the one who ordered him to go to Vrindavan after empowering him in the Navadvip Parikrama. Even stones will melt if someone reads how at the end of the Parikrama, Jiva Goswami just fell at the lotus feet of Nitai and started crying. Oh Nitai, that pastime, I don't even have words. And how gently Nitai picked him up and embraced him. Actually, Jiva Goswami was not willing to leave Nityananda Prabhu. And Nitai was continuously insisting, no, you must go to Vrindavan. Anyone who has read Navadvip Mahatmya will understand what I'm trying to say here. And in chapter 18 of Navadvip Mahatmya, if you closely notice in that chapter, Nitai is explaining to Jiva Goswami about Gaur Tattva, Radha Krishna Tattva, Vrindavan Navadvip Tattva. So if he has no knowledge of Madhurya Ras, then how is this possible? He was explaining to Jiva Goswami how simply by taking shelter of Gauranga and Dasya Ras, it is sufficient to take a devotee into all other rasas in Krishna Leela. So obviously he has knowledge of Shringar Ras. And Jiva Goswami is also a manjari. He is Vilas Manjari. So, see, once again, Nitai, through this pastime, we can see that he even takes manjaris to Radha Krishna. What is his power that he can take even the manjaris to Radha and Krishna? And now if we see among Nitai's personal associates, I'll give you an example. Gadadhar Das, not Gadadhar Pandit, there's another Gadadhar Das. He was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu, but in Krishna Leela, he's a gopi. So this also contradicts the fact that Nitai's associates are only sakhas. Nitai also gives shelter to many gopis from Krishna Leela. গদাধর দাস গোপী ভাবে পূর্ণানন্দ, যার ঘরে দান কেলি কইল নিত্যানন্দ. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 11, verse 17. So all these pastimes are very significant. The Acharyas want to teach us the precepts of bhakti through their own life. Their leelas are even more meaningful than that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if all our Acharyas are loudly exclaiming that simply by taking shelter of Nitai Chandra we will attain everything, then it must be so. There is no room for any doubt. And like I mentioned about Gadadhar Das, sorry, I just remembered another pastime now. When Nityananda Prabhu and along with all his associates, he was traveling to Bengal. At that time, they were all very loudly doing kirtan. So Nityananda Prabhu, he was the first one who went into ecstasy. And Gadadhar Das was beside him. And just by that close proximity to Nityananda Prabhu, just by seeing him, his Gopi Bhav awakened. And he started to dance in the mood of Radharani. And he took a kalash. A kalash is the pot that the gopis carry on their heads with buttermilk for Krishna. And he was walking and he was saying, "Who wants milk? Who wants milk?" in the mood of a gopi. See, his Gopi Bhav, it awakened just by Nityananda Prabhu's association. That is the power of Nitai. That is the power of his attraction. That simply by coming close to him, one can revive their eternal bhav towards Krishna. Joy Joy Nitai Chand. In fact, even Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, when they came to see Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the night before they had actually met Nityananda Prabhu first, and Nitai was the one who took Rupa Goswami and his brother Anupam they met Haridas and Nityananda Prabhu first, and then Haridas and Nityananda Prabhu took Anupam and Rupa Goswami to where Gauranga Mahaprabhu was staying. So see, even Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami and their brother Anupam, even they attained Gauranga by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. And what's very astonishing is that, see, Sanatan Goswami is our Sambandha Guru, Rupa Goswami is our Abhideya Guru, and Raghunatha Das Goswami is our Prayojan Guru. And all of their connection with Lord Chaitanya was through the mercy of Lord Nityananda, which is so wonderful. And it really emphasizes how even the greatest acharyas had to take shelter of Nitai first. And there's also another very interesting thing that I want to discuss, and that is how even in the form of Balaram in Krishna Lila, Lord Nityananda actually bestows Madhurya. Now I know this is very surprising because, like, most of you are thinking, wait, what? I thought Balai isn't Shuddha Sakyaras. Yes, he is, but that doesn't mean he can't give Madhurya to other sakhas. There are different types of sakhas in Sakyaras also, and the most confidential, intimate sakhas are known as Priya Narma sakhas, like Madhumangal, Arjuna, Subal, Ujjwal, Mahabahu, etc. This means that they participate in Radha Krishna's intimate pastimes as well as Krishna's Sakhya pastimes. And this is the highest category of sakhas because Krishna actually allows them to see Radha Krishna's pastimes. Other sakhas don't even understand the Leela of Radha Krishna because they are not in that bhav. Like, there is a pastime that previously all the kunjas around Sham Kund belonged to the Priya Narma sakhas, and then they gave it away to the Ashta Sakhis. So although Balaram doesn't participate in Radha Krishna's pastimes directly, this doesn't mean he doesn't understand them. Because remember, Balaram is the head of all the cowherd boys. So how can he be ignorant to their bhavs? To be the head of something, to be the Senapati of something, that means that you must be aware of everything that's going on in all the other levels. Correct? So if Balaram is the head of all the cowherd boys, that means that he is aware of every single one of their bhavs, even though he may not engage in Madhurya in the Priya Narma level directly. Still, he's aware of them. On top of that, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, non-different from Krishna. So there's another way Balaram is capable of leading someone into Madhurya Ras. And Balaram also has his own gopis. He also performs his own Ras Leela with his own gopis. So of course he's aware of Madhurya Ras. He knows, he's well acquainted with it. So we can't say that he is completely oblivious to everything that's going on. Because if that was true, then every time Nitai is walking in Vrindavan and he sees some golden reflection, he wouldn't start walking the other way because he thinks, oh, Vrishabhanu Nandini must be coming this way. I am Krishna's elder brother, so if she sees me, she will feel shy. Oh, I should go the other way. If Balaram was not aware, then why would he start walking in the opposite direction? Obviously, he knows that Radha Krishna are performing his pastimes. He just intentionally avoids it so that there's no awkward situation because he's the elder brother. And there's also another pastime of when Krishna is performing the Ras Leela with the gopis, and Balaram is also there. He is witnessing this, and the Shankasur demon comes, and he kidnaps all the gopis, and then Krishna and Balaram obviously fight and bring the gopis back and kill the demon. Balaram, this demon, had a very nice chudamani, jewel, in his crown. So Nitai takes that chudamani and he offers it to Radharani. He gives it to Radharani, and Radharani is very pleased. So even from this we can understand that Nitai does have a very strong perception of Madhurya Ras. And that same Balaram, he becomes Nityananda in Kali Yuga. Balaram is non-different from Nitai. Balaram huila Nitai. So one who understands their constitutional position will fully realize all these conclusions. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also confirms Lord Nityananda's exalted position in the topmost way in the Nityananda Ashtottara Satanam, the 100 names of Lord Nityananda. In the 76th name of Nitai, in the 16th verse, it says, Radhika mantra do vibhu. He bestows the mantra. It is Lord Nityananda and his holy name only who impart the most confidential mantra of Srimati Radhika and Madhurya Ras. See, every deity is worshipped by their own Ishtamantra. This is to invoke their mercy and worship them. The worship is usually incomplete without that mantra. All services are performed through that mantra. Every time, like you must have seen in deity worship. So the mantra of Srimati Radhika, the mantra that the Manjaris and all her followers use to worship her, Nitai is the bestower of that mantra. Radhika mantra do vibhu. Brihaspati, the guru of all the demigods in Swarga, he came as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He is saying this. So see, that is the greatest proof of all. The ultimate proof. I cannot give any other higher proof than this. Srimati Radharani, Radhika Paradevata, the mistress of Goloka, she is saying it herself that one who doesn't take shelter of Nitai will never be accepted by her. When did she say this? She said it in her most confidential form as Gadadhar Pandit. And please don't make a foolish mistake of thinking that Gadadhar Pandit is not in the same level as Radharani. No, they're the same. Actually, Gaur Gadadhar are even in a more higher position than Radha Krishna, because in the highest Mahabhav and Bhakti, there is Vipralamba Bhav, there is separation, and that Vipralamba Bhav reaches the climax when they come as Gaur Gadadhar, because there is constant separation within union itself. Very, very hard to understand Gaur Gadai. They are so high. You have to actually first understand Nitai Gaur, then Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then Radha Krishna, then Radharani, and then you will understand the esoteric position of Gaur Gadadhar. So as you can see, Gadadhar Pandit's position is really high. So if Gadai is saying that that in itself is the highest proof. So I'll read out the pastime from Chaitanya Bhagavat now. And Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the benediction that whoever listens to this pastime carefully will get Krishna Prem. So please do hear attentively. And I will skip to some parts just to point out. I will skip some parts just to point out the main parts. And so Chaitanya Bhagavat. Okay. After thus gazing at Lord Jagannath, Lord Nityananda and his associates joyfully went to see Gadadhar. Who has the power to describe the love that Lord Nityananda and Gadadhar felt in their hearts? Learning that Lord Nityananda had come, Gadadhar stopped reading Srimad Bhagavatam and went to him at once. They gazed at each other's faces, grasping each other's necks. They wept. They offered obeisances to each other. They glorified each other. They both said, "Now my eyes are purified. Now my life has become successful." External consciousness was no longer present in the bodies of the two lords. The two lords floated in an ocean of bliss and love. Seeing the display of great love and devotion, the devotees in the four directions fell to the ground and wept. How wonderful was the love Nityananda and Gadadhar felt. They did not say anything but words of love and devotion. Gadadhar had no desire to see the face of anyone who criticized Lord Nityananda. Lord Gadadhar Pandit would not look at the face of anyone who did not love Lord Nityananda. After some time, after becoming peaceful again, the two lords sat down and talked about the auspicious glories of Lord Gauranga. And then there's the pastime of how Gauranga comes to eat shak brought by Nitai, cooked by Gadadhar. So, continuing from there. The devotees who love these three lords know their true identities. But Lord Gauranga did not quickly tell anyone who the three lords were. After some time, the three lords stopped eating and left. Then the devotees took the remnants the lords had left on their plates. Anyone who hears or reads of this blissful meal will attain pure devotion to Lord Krishna. He will go back to Krishna. Anyone on whom Gadadhar has placed his merciful glance will have the power to understand the true nature of Lord Nityananda. Anyone who in his heart loves Lord Nityananda will know the truth about Gadadhar. In this way, Lord Nityananda happily enjoyed pastimes with Lord Gauranga in Jagannath Puri. The three lords, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, and Gadadhar, always stayed together. Together, these three gazed on Lord Jagannath. Wild with bliss, they performed Sankirtan. The two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Sri Nityananda Ram ki jai, Gadadhar Pandit ki jai, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So, from this pastime, it's so evident. Gadadhar Pandit, Radha Rani, she is saying that I will not see the face of anyone who does not love Nityananda. I will never accept anyone who criticizes Lord Nityananda. What greater proof can we get than this? Radha Rani herself is saying, in her form as Gadadhar Pandit, just look from this pastime, the love that Nityananda Prabhu and Gadadhar Pandit share. Inexpressible. It's indescribable, even in koti million years. No one can describe. So how do you think that Radharani, Gadadhar Pandit, will accept anyone in her service if they discard Nityananda? Impossible. She just mentioned right here, right now, that she will not. Jai Nitai. And Nitai is actually serving Radha Krishna constantly in Madhurya Ras as Manjari. And I just want to sing 3 parts of a very, very heart-touching bhajan by Vrindavan Das Thakur, Antare Nitai, Bahire Nitai. And I want to sing the 3 parts of the bhajan where Vrindavan Das Thakur is emphasizing on Nitai's service to Radha Krishna in the spiritual world in Madhurya Ras as Ananga Manjari. রাধার মাধুরী অনঙ্গ মঞ্জরি নিতাই নিতুষে সেবে কোটি শশোদর বদন সুন্দর সখী সখা বল দেবে এ রাধার মাধুরী অনঙ্গ মঞ্জরি নিতাই নিতুষে সেবে কোটি শশোদর বদন সুন্দর সখী সখা বল দেবে রাধার ভাগিনী শ্যাম সোহাগিনী সব সখী গণ প্রাণ যাহার লবরী মণ্ডপ সজনী শ্রীমণি মন্দির নাম নিতাই সুন্দর যোগ পীঠ ধরে রত্ন সিংহাসন সেজে বসন নিতাই ভূষণ নিতাই বিলাসী সখীর মাঝে এ নিতাই সুন্দর যোগ পীঠ ধরে রত্ন সিংহাসন সেজে বসন নিতাই ভূষণ নিতাই বিলাসী সখীর মাঝে Nitai's Ananga Manjari eternally serves sweet Srimati Radhika. He is non-different from Baldev, whose beautiful face resembles millions of moons and is surrounded by sakhas and sakhis. The sister of Radharani, Ananga Manjari, is very dear to Sri Shama, and she is the very life and soul of all the sakhis. She decorates the arena of the temple named Mani Mandir. Nitai sustains the yoga beat and becomes a throne for the Lord to sit on. Nitai is also the dress and ornaments. He enjoys pastimes with the sakhis. So see, Nitai, he is serving so beautifully even in Madhurya ras. In fact, you know what that means? Not only can he take you to Radharani, but he can also guide you when you are serving Radharani directly in his form as Ananga Manjari. Bolo Ananga Manjari ki jai. So Krishna's elder brother and Radharani's younger sister are non-different. They are identical. In fact, Ananga Manjari is Radharani's life and soul. She was also the one who took even Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Kamala Manjari, into the Nitya Leela. And no matter what group you are in, because even in the spiritual world, in Radharani's camp, there are groups. Each Sakhi has her own manjaris. All the manjaris, they all follow under the footsteps of Ananga Manjari. So her position there is very crucial. And so there is another example of Nitai directly taking Raganuga devotees into the Nitya Leela as a manjari. We can see that from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's example. And if we speak in terms of the Dham, the holy abode, then Nityananda Prabhu is the Dham. He is Gaura Mandal Dham Swarup. And by his will, all the Leela Sthalis of Vrindavan, in fact, Vrindavan itself has appeared there. The Navadvip here, Radharani has made with her own hands. Any place in Navadvip can give you Radha Prem. And Navadvip itself is Nitai. And Vrindavan is Nitai. What to speak of Navadvip? Even Vrindavan itself is Nitai. When you're walking in Vrindavan, when you're speaking in Vrindavan, when you are doing Katha in Vrindavan, when you are doing Harinam in Vrindavan, everything, all around you, there is only Nitai, Nitai, Nitai. Because Nitai is Vrindavan, so how will you enter into Vrindavan if Nitai does not give you mercy? And Nitai's own Dham, Ekachakra, it's the most merciful abode in all creation. And you'll be astonished that the most confidential of all Leela Sthalis, Radha Kund, Sham Kund, they have also appeared in Ekachakra by the potency of Nityananda. A moment ago we discussed about how Radha Kund is the highest place of pastimes which Radha Krishna perform. This is the place where it's the climax of Radha Krishna's pastimes. And Radha Kund, you can just imagine that it has appeared in Ekachakra as Rai Kund and Kanhai Kund. You will find Radha and Shyam there. So if Nitai cannot give you Radha and Krishna, how was he able to bring Govardhan, Radha Kund and Shyam Kund and Ekachakra? These holy places won't just appear anywhere. Even Mahadev, Narad, Shukdev, Lakshmi Devi, even the gopis can't see these pastimes in Radha Kund. You need special mercy of Radharani to see these pastimes. So just imagine the potency of Nityananda. The Radha Krishna were bound to appear there in Ekachakra. Radha Kund, Sham Kund, it had to. They were compelled to appear there just by the power of Nityananda Prabhu. Because of Radha Krishna's affection for Nityananda. They don't want to stay away from Nitai, so they have appeared in his dham. And if we take a close look at the writings of our acharyas, there are many places where they have directly mentioned about taking shelter of Nitai. And the most famous one, Heno Nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna paite nai, Driro kori thoro Nitai pai. Nitai karuna hobe, Braje Radha Krishna pabe, Dhoro Nitai chorono dukhani. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it will be very difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna. If one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, he must firmly catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. If you actually want to approach the association of Radha Krishna, you must first achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda. When he is merciful towards you, then you will be able to approach Radha Krishna. Therefore, you should firmly grasp the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Nitai Pada Kamala by Nityananda Das Thakur. See, another Rasika Vaishnava is saying this. Nityananda Das Thakur, he is also a Manjari. He is Champak Manjari. And Prabhupada, in his commentary of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila chapter 7, verse number 18, he says, when the devotee develops his love for Nityananda Prabhu, he is freed from all attachment to the material world, and at that time he becomes eligible to understand the Lord's pastimes in Vrindavan. And His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, who is the Shiksha Guru of even Srila Prabhupada, writes in his beautiful prayers, Srimad Nityananda Dadashkam, which are 12 prayers which reveal the ontological position and pastimes of Lord Nityananda. And in verse 12, he wraps up everything so beautifully. So I will read out that verse now, and please forgive my poor Sanskrit. Shri Radha Krishna Leela Rasa Madhura Sudha Swada Sudhaika Murto Gaur Shraddham Dhriram Bho Prabhu Parikara Samrat Prayachadhamesmin Ulanghya Grim Hi Yasya Khila Bhajna Katha Swapnavachaiva Mithya Shri Nityananda Chandram Patita Sharanatam Gauradam Tam Bhajeham. O Nityananda Prabhu, Emperor amidst the personal associate of Sriman Mahaprabhu, kindly grant this fallen soul deep and resolute faith in that pure and divine figure of Sri Gauranga. Lord Gauranga's personality exclusively embodies the sweet nectar relished deep within the devotional mellows of Sri Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes. But if your lotus feet are overlooked, then all so-called devotional orations and prayers meant for the highest worship become false, just like a dream. I worship you, that great personality, Nityananda Chandra, who openly bestows shelter to the most fallen souls, freely granting the association of Sri Gauranga Dev. Jai, beautiful prayers. And lastly, there is one great proof that we all know but we overlook. So what has Gauranga come to give us? Prem. What prem? The highest prem of that like Srimati Radharani's or the Manjaris. How is he distributing this prem? Where is all his prem stored? Golokera premodhano harinama sankirtana. In the holy names. This is not ordinary nam, it is Madhurya nam. All the other rasas are contained within Madhurya ras, but Harinam is actually Madhurya nam, Radha Krishna nam. How is he distributing this Madhurya nam? through the Namhatta, marketplace of the holy name. And who is the owner of all these goods in the Namhatta? Let's see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Nodiya Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Pati ache Namhatto Jivero Karon. In the land of Nadia, on the island of Godruma, the magnanimous Lord Nityananda has opened up the marketplace of the holy name, meant for deliverance of all fallen souls. Nitai naam hate oke jabire bhai ay chute. বড় সুখের খবর গায় সুরভি কুঞ্জেতে নামের হাট খুলেছে যত ভক্ত বৃন্দবাসী অধিকারী দেখে নাম বেচে দ্বারকাশী. I am singing news of great happy tidings. Lord Nityananda himself has opened a marketplace of the holy name in Surabhi Kunj. Lord Nityananda, the proprietor of the market, seeing all the devotees become attracted, is selling them the holy name after bargaining with them. So, if Nitai cannot distribute Radha Krishna Prem, then how is he the proprietor of the holy name, which is Madhurya Nam, containing the highest confidential love of Radha Krishna? And in his prayers, the Pranam Mantra to Nityananda Prabhu, it says, Nityananda Maham Nomi Sarvananda Karam Param Harinama Pradam Devam Avadhuta Shiromanim. Harinama Pradam Devam. He is the bestower of the Madhurya Nam, of Harinam. So, at this point, I hope that all the speculations have been eradicated. And the final conclusion is that it is only by the causeless mercy of Sri Nityananda Ram that we will be able to attain Sri Radharani's lotus feet. Sri Sri Radha Krishna's exclusive shelter will only be available to those devotees who will first take full shelter of Lord Nityananda. And how to take shelter of Lord Nitai? By Nitai Katha Shravanam, by Nitai Prasad, by Nitai Mahima Gungan, by Nitai Bhakta Sangha, by Nitai Archan, Nitai Vandan, and most importantly, Nitai Nam. So whoever wants to attain Radha Krishna in this lifetime, please, please, loudly chant Lord Nityananda's holy name. Nityananda! Joy Nitai! Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. Nitai, 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 Bol, Gaura Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.